Imagine having access to a life manual that transcends millennia, written by one of history's greatest thinkers. Plato, disciple of Socrates and mentor to Aristotle, not only shaped Western thought, but also left timeless lessons that can radically transform your worldview and, consequently, your life. We live in an era of superficial and ephemeral information, where true knowledge is often overshadowed by immediacy and haste. We experience constant anxiety, a sense of emptiness that seems to grow with every new notification on our phones. How many times have you found yourself questioning the meaning of life, your choices, and the path you're on? The answers to these concerns may lie in Plato's words, whose reflections go straight to the heart of existential questions and offer a path to true fulfillment. Plato did not speak only to his contemporaries. His words resonate with impressive clarity today, addressing themes such as the importance of self-knowledge, the search for truth, among many others. Each of these lessons is a powerful tool for those who seek not just to survive, but to truly achieve a state of deep and lasting well-being. Prepare yourself for a journey of self-discovery and growth that goes far beyond the obvious, guided by the wisdom of one of the greatest masters of all time. I challenge you to watch the video to the end. But before you continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Your support is essential for me to continue bringing content that helps us evolve as human beings. Lesson 1. The Search for Truth. Plato firmly believed that absolute truth exists and that it is possible to achieve it through philosophy and reasoning. In a world full of illusions and deceptive appearances, he challenges us to constantly question our superficial perceptions and seek the true essence of things. This lesson, perhaps one of Plato's most profound and transformative, is a call for introspective reflection and authentic understanding of reality. Imagine living in a world where everything we see and experience is merely a shadow of true reality. Plato illustrates this idea through the famous allegory of the cave, where chained prisoners see only shadows projected on the cave walls and believe these shadows are the entirety of existence. This myth warns us of the dangers of passively accepting what is presented to us and encourages us to break free from the chains of ignorance to see the light of truth. For Plato, philosophy is the vehicle that allows us to pursue this truth. Through rigorous questioning and deep reflection, we can transcend appearances and achieve a purer and truer understanding of the world. He emphasizes that truth is not found in others' opinions and conventions, but must be sought within ourselves. This pursuit is a personal journey where each individual must look inward, challenge their own beliefs and prejudices, and find the cause of all things in their own spirit. Plato teaches us that truth is the foundation of a virtuous and meaningful life. Without it, our actions and decisions are based on illusions, leading us to a superficial and unsatisfactory existence. Therefore, seeking truth is not just an intellectual exercise, but a necessity for achieving true happiness and personal fulfillment. The wise man will look within himself for the cause of all things, finding it easier to see the truth in his own spirit than in the opinions of others. This quote encapsulates the essence of Plato's lesson. True wisdom comes from within, and it is through introspection and self-knowledge that we can achieve absolute truth. So, as you embark on this quest for truth, remember that each question, each doubt is a step towards a deeper and more authentic understanding of life. Plato invites us not to accept shadows, but to seek the light that reveals true reality. Lesson 2. The Allegory of the Cave. Among the many lessons of wisdom that Plato left us, perhaps none is as powerful and intriguing as the allegory of the cave. This metaphor, found in Book 7 of the Republic, is a profound allegory about the human condition and our perception of reality. Plato challenges us to consider the possibility that we are living in a cave of illusions, where everything we know is merely shadows of a much greater truth. Imagine a group of people chained at the bottom of a cave from birth, so they can only see the wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire projects shadows of objects manipulated by others. For the prisoners, these shadows are the only reality they know. They spend their entire lives believing that the shadows are all that exists, never questioning or imagining that there could be something beyond. However, one of the prisoners manages to free himself and leave the cave. At first, the sunlight is painful and blinding, but as his eyes adjust, he begins to see the true world, real objects, vivid colours, and finally, the sun itself, which is the source of all light. This freed prisoner represents the philosopher who, through reason and questioning, frees himself from illusions and achieves an understanding of true reality. Plato uses this allegory to illustrate the importance of philosophy as the path to enlightenment. The cave symbolizes the sensible world and the illusions we accept without question, while the journey out of the cave represents the pursuit of knowledge and truth. Philosophy challenges us to look beyond appearances, to question what we see, and to seek the essence of things. The allegory of the cave teaches us that most of us live in complacent ignorance, accepting superficiality as reality. Only through deep questioning and an incessant search for knowledge can we free ourselves from the chains of illusion. Plato reminds us that this journey is difficult and often painful, but it is the only path to true wisdom and understanding. As we reflect on this metaphor, we are invited to consider our own caves. What shadows do we accept as reality? Are we willing to face the painful light of truth? This lesson from Plato challenges us never to stop seeking, never to accept shadows as the entirety of existence, and always to aspire to the true light of knowledge. Lesson 3. Virtue as knowledge. For Plato, virtue is not just a matter of behaviour, but a form of deep knowledge. He believed that knowing the good is synonymous with practicing it. Thus, a person's moral and ethical development is intrinsically linked to their intellectual development. This revolutionary view leads us to understand that to act correctly, it is essential to know what is correct and just. Virtue is knowledge. He who knows what is right and just cannot act otherwise, Plato asserted. Plato teaches us that ignorance is the root of vices and injustices. When someone commits an injustice or acts immorally, it is due to a lack of true knowledge about the good. Therefore, education and intellectual development are fundamental to the formation of virtuous individuals. This concept subverts the idea that morality is merely a matter of will or inclination. Rather, it is a product of knowledge. In personal development, this lesson offers us a clear path. The search for knowledge and a deep understanding of what is right and just is essential for the improvement of our character. By investing in our intellectual growth, we are not just acquiring information, but transforming ourselves into better people. True knowledge guides us in making moral decisions, making us more capable of acting with integrity and justice. This approach also challenges us to reflect on our own actions and motivations. Do we truly know what is good and just? And if we do, are we acting according to that knowledge? Plato encourages us never to stop seeking truth and wisdom, for it is through this continuous pursuit that we become morally upright. Furthermore, this Platonic lesson highlights the importance of a comprehensive education that goes beyond the mere accumulation of technical information. We need to cultivate an education that helps us deeply understand ethical and moral issues, developing not only our minds, but also our character. Plato leaves us a clear message. The path to virtue is paved by knowledge. The more we strive to know the good, the closer we come to living a just and virtuous life. This is a lesson that transcends time and continues to be relevant in our pursuit of a meaningful and ethical existence. Lesson 4. The importance of the soul. Plato bequeathed us a profoundly spiritual vision of existence, where the soul occupies the center of our quest for true happiness. He believed that the soul is immortal and that its well-being is infinitely more important than any material concern. In a world full of distractions and worldly desires, Plato reminds us of the need to focus on our inner self instead of getting lost in the superficialities of everyday life. For the body is the prison of the soul, and philosophy is the process of liberation from this prison, Plato writes in Phaedo. For Plato, the philosophical life is a path of purification of the soul. He encourages us to transcend ephemeral pleasures and material concerns to seek a deeper and more enduring understanding of existence. This purification is not just a religious or mystical practice, but a process of reflection, self-knowledge, and intellectual development. In this context, philosophy is seen as a powerful tool to liberate the soul from the chains of the body and sensory illusions. In personal development, this Platonic lesson offers us an invitation for inner transformation. Instead of incessantly seeking material success or external approval, Plato encourages us to look inward and care for our soul. This means cultivating virtues such as justice, wisdom, and temperance, and seeking a deeper knowledge of ourselves and the universe. By doing so, we achieve a state of harmony and inner peace that no material wealth can provide. This Platonic vision also challenges us to reconsider our priorities. What really matters in our life? Are we caring for our soul as much as we care for our body and material possessions? Plato suggests that true happiness can only be found when we place the well-being of the soul above all other concerns. By internalizing this lesson, we can begin to live more authentically and meaningfully. The search for knowledge and the purification of the soul lead us to a state of clarity and serenity where true happiness resides. Plato shows us that by nurturing our soul, we free ourselves from illusions and reach the true essence of our existence. This is wisdom that resonates through the centuries and guides us in our journey of personal and spiritual development. Lesson 5. The Theory of Forms. The theory of forms is one of the central pillars of Platonic thought, offering a profound vision of the nature of reality and knowledge. Plato argued that beyond the physical world we perceive with our senses, there is a transcendent realm of immutable and perfect forms or ideas. In this realm resides the true essence of all things, while the sensible world is merely a shadow or imperfect copy of these ideal forms. Imagine all the objects and concepts we know: a chair, a tree, beauty, justice. In the sensible world, each of these things is imperfect and subject to change. A chair can break, a tree can wither, definitions of beauty and justice can vary between cultures and eras. However, Plato invites us to consider that for each of these things in the sensible world, there is a perfect and eternal form that represents their true essence. This specific chair may be imperfect, but there exists the ideal form of chair that is unchanging and perfect. True wisdom, according to Plato, lies in understanding these ideal forms. The objects of the sensible world are merely shadows of these forms, and our knowledge must transcend physical appearances to reach the immutable truth. This search for true knowledge is a philosophical journey that takes us beyond the illusions of the senses and brings us closer to ultimate reality. Without understanding these forms, our knowledge remains incomplete and superficial. Plato challenges us to look beyond appearances and seek the essence of things. In a world full of changes and uncertainties, he offers us a vision of an eternal and unchanging realm where true reality resides. This lesson encourages us not to settle for the superficial and to seek a deeper and more meaningful understanding of life and the universe. By reflecting on the theory of forms, we are invited to question our perceptions and consider the existence of a deeper and truer reality. What are the ideal forms that govern our understanding of the world? How can we achieve knowledge of these immutable essences? Plato reminds us that the pursuit of true knowledge is a continuous journey, an aspiration for wisdom that transcends the limitations of the sensible world and brings us closer to the eternal and perfect. Throughout this video, we encounter lessons that challenge our perceptions, question our beliefs, and illuminate the path to a fuller and more meaningful life. From the tireless search for truth to the understanding of the soul's immortality, Plato offers us wisdom that transcends time, resonating with impressive clarity in our modern era. As we internalize these lessons, we are called to an inner transformation, a journey that goes beyond the superficial and leads us to a more authentic understanding of life. Plato challenges us to look within, question our certainties, and seek truth in our own spirit. He reminds us that true happiness is not found in material possessions, but in the well-being of the soul, cultivated through philosophy and self-knowledge. This is an invitation for you to continue exploring, questioning, and growing. Plato's wisdom is not static knowledge, but a call to action, a continuous journey of self-discovery and personal evolution. By integrating these lessons into your life, you will not only follow in the footsteps of one of history's greatest thinkers, but also forge your own path towards a richer and more meaningful existence. Therefore, don't stop here. Keep seeking, questioning, and growing. The light of truth is within reach for those who have the courage to leave the cave and face reality with astonished eyes. Plato has shown us the way. Now, it is up to you to embark on this transformative journey. Prepare yourself for a life of wisdom, virtue, and true well-being. The transformation begins now. If this video added value to your life, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content on personal development and Stoic philosophy.